Bienvenidos, chicos. We're going to talk about the present perfect, el presente perfecto, another useful tense for you to learn in Spanish. Get excited. Okay, so the present perfect is used for past actions that continue to happen in the present or continue to affect the present. In English, some of those might sound like I have eaten too much, we've arrived home, or we have arrived home, or have you been to that restaurant? We have been friends for 20 years. So as you can see, we've got the have and then the eaten, the main verb, but the auxiliary verb have is along with it. It's also sometimes referred to as the recent past. Just like in English, as you noticed in the previous slide, it has two parts to it. It's considered a compound tense. It has the two parts, which is the haber, the auxiliary verb, and the past participle, which is made with the main verb. So in English, again, has arrived, has being our auxiliary verb. So how do we construct the present perfect? Well, our first step is that we need to conjugate the verb haber in the present tense for the correct subject. So here's your conjugations for the verb haber: has, a, hemos, habéis, han. Accents only over the vosotros. And then the second part is going to be your past participle. So that's going to be step 2. How do we create the past participle of the main verb? Well, let's see. ¿Cómo hacemos esto? No se preocupen, chicos. Es pan comido. It is super easy. It's going to be basic. There's a basic little pattern you're going to follow. First, you're going to take off the ending, the AR, ER, or IR ending. And then, depending if it was an AR verb or ER verb or an IR verb, you're going to add the past participle ending. And it's the same, and there's only one ending for each of those three. So if it's an AR, it goes hado. So hablar, take off the AR, goes to hablado. Spoken. That's what it's going to sound like, spoken or talked. And if it's an ER-IR verb, it goes to ido. So for comer, take off the ER, and you add your ido, comido, eaten. Okay? So let's take a look at some of these examples, forming the past participles. So for AR verbs, we've got llegar, goes to llegado. ER-IR categories, salir, salido. Escuchar, escuchado. Oír, oído. Nadar, nadado. Correr, corrido. And then there's one other word I wanted to give you guys. The word ya in Spanish means already, and it is used frequently with these sentences, with these types, with this particular tense. So just like in English, I have eaten already. He comido ya. You could also say ya he comido. The ya can go in front or at the end. What's most important is that you do not separate the he comido. Those two have to stick together no matter what. You don't put anything in between those two guys. Okay? So let's try a few on our own. It looks like I've given you the first one already. So you have your conjugations for haber up top, and then use your notes to remember how to form the past participle. So for number 1, they have slept for 6 hours. You can fill that in. Ellos han dormido por 6 horas. So go ahead and pause the video and fill in those last 3. There's not much, so do it on your own. Okay, did you pause it? I hope so. Here come the answers. She has arrived is going to be, let's see if I can get it pop up here. Yeah, there it is. Ella ha llegado. Okay, she has arrived. The team has finished already. Here's your answer. El equipo ha terminado ya. And I haven't heard the song. No he oído la canción. Okay, so there's your little practice. A few more notes to add to this. Here's your irregulars. It wouldn't be a Spanish tense if there weren't irregulars in there. So there's your irregular past participles. Okay, so that means you're not following the usual format, you're going through and there's special words for these guys. So we got escribir goes to escrito, romper, roto, we know that one, abrir, abierto, you've seen that one a lot, decir, dicho, hacer, hecho. If you look on the tags of many of your clothes or things around the house, you'll see hecho in Mexico, hecho in Peru. Okay, made. Poner goes to puesto, put. Ver goes to visto, seen. Volver, vuelto, returned. Morir, muerto, died. Cubrir, cubierto, covered. And then the four others on the right-hand side, they basically follow the same construction as a regular past participle. However, there's an accent put in there over the I on those four. Leído, caído, traído, construido. Okay? When you're creating a question with the with the present perfect, you form it the same way, except the subject is pushed to the end. For example, have the children arrived already? You're going to create that sentence by saying han vuelto ya los niños. So notice how the only thing that changes is your an for the subject. Regardless of the subject, vuelto stays vuelto. Okay, it doesn't change for plural, for anything like that. It's always vuelto. It's the haber that's going to change. Okay, and we put the los niños at the end for questions. That's common in Spanish. We know that already. To create a negative statement to say, no, they have not arrived yet, or they haven't arrived already, you're going to put the no before the conjugation of haber. No han vuelto ya los niños. The children haven't arrived yet. Okay, and it's going to look like that in Spanish. And then your answer would be, no, no han vuelto. Nope, they have not returned. I said arrived. I meant returned for that first one. Okay. And that's it, guys. So you can go ahead and stop your notes there. And the notes that remain on your sheet are things that we're going to talk about at a later time. So take a look over these notes one more time and be ready to use them in class tomorrow. Okay?